Chapter 10. The Club. I felt the bass pulse in my throat before we even pulled into the club's parking lot a few towns over. When I stepped out onto the blacktop, I sensed the quickening, the calm before the storm. It was in every cell, calling me to danger, and I pointed my finger gun at the door to get some. "Time to drink, ladies." I wiggled down the too short black dress that barely covered my ass and wrapped the strap of my bag around my wrist. Stella may be the subject of our night out, but I aim to be the center of attention in every situation I find myself in. I wore my hair long and flipped it off my shoulder at everyone as the bouncer rushed us past the line waiting to get in. When we got inside, wall-to-wall sweaty bodies grinding against each other packed the place. Even though we're just a bunch of magic folk dripping in old ill-gotten money, witches are notoriously loose with our morals. Don't let my brother's high and mighty, pearl-clutching debutante routine fool you. He was up to his eyes in my orders Friday night fights and orgies, too. He might be peachy keen with this brand-new whitewashed life, but I was born to be bad, and I meant to stay that way. I had enough of the wolf pack's wholesome family fun, and from the room scent, I found my people. Stella's party had a private area roped off in the back, so we sat down and ordered our drinks as I scanned the room for a piece of man candy to sink my fangs into for the night. After I had a few whiskeys in me, Stella's angelic face came from behind me and pressed against my cheek. Her arms surrounded me, and her drunk ass kissed me as she rocked me back and forth. "I'm so glad we're sisters now, I love you." I patted her arm and laughed at how false that statement would be once I ghosted her later. "That's nice." Her drunken giggles were like nails on a chalkboard, but she came around my chair and tugged on my hand. "Come dance with me." She thought she was naughty and safe simultaneously, swinging her hips and rubbing her ass into my lap. But I suspect Teddy never told her I swung in every sexual direction and she was turning me on. Every time she brushed her tits against mine, she was only fanning the flames of this dirty witch, and it was about to land me in a heap of trouble. Once she got over her faux bad girl phase, she made her way back to her friends as I went to the bar. I twisted from side to side on the leather stool until a tall, dark presence sank onto the one beside me. "What's up?" My eyes traveled down his body, and I shrugged when I noticed the protrusion in his pants. "Looks like you are." The copper-skinned stallion in a crisp white shirt leaned in close, his lips brushing my cheek. "What are you drinking?" Nothing against the twins I spent the night with, but the sun-kissed shot of good with dark eyes beside me was more my speed. "Double whiskey, please." After he slipped a bill to the bartender, he spun his chair to face me. "That's not a local accent. Where are you from?" I twisted my lips as I spread my knees enough for him to see I wouldn't be a hard nut to crack. "Doesn't matter." Shaking his head, he spread them a little further. "No, not really." Now that we understood each other, he jerked his eyes at me. "Are you going to be around long?" "No." I slipped my fingers between the buttons of his shirt, tugging him to me. "I'm off free tonight, though." Tilting his eyes to the dance floor, he pulled my fingers to follow him. "Come on." Going into heat is a bitch, and it wants to be answered despite where you are or who's watching. It came to me like a gunshot at that moment, and my inner thighs instantly drenched in hot, sticky need. It was a good thing that Stella went to a human city for her bachelorette party, because any shifter in a 2-mile radius would sense my fertility coming to life. I'd have every one of those fools trying to sniff my coochie right now, and as horny as I was, I'd probably let them. A burst of fresh air blew his cologne all over me when the next batch of people came through the door, and I melted into his body. I needed a fix right now. There wasn't an inch of light left between us as my hands wrapped around his buttocks and tugged him closer. My whole body ached to be pleased, and the thick rod against his leg was fighting its way free to quench it. It didn't matter what song was playing, because my only focus in life was the thumping of his cock against me as I ground my cunt into it. His lips were like a tall glass of sweet tea, and I pulled his bottom one between mine for a drink. Between pants and rough kisses, his hips never stopped their assault on mine. He was like a machine the way his ass rolled upwards at a constant rhythm, bringing me to orgasm quickly. My entire body shuddered against him, and thanked the fates for the loud music because I was screaming like a banshee. Stumbling like a drunken idiot as the tinkle still pumped through my goody parts, I inched backward, already unlatching his belt. "Let's go find somewhere to fuck right now." Between having my bell properly rung, the flashing lights and the music, I didn't catch what was happening until something tossed me across the floor. When I get too close to people, I usually do something stupid to mess it up. It's a self-induced curse that was playing out right now as I looked up from the filthy floor to find Logan and Jacob taking turns punching my fuck buddy. Time stood still as I watched my human playmate try to defend himself from the two lichen monsters, and not a soul in the room even attempted to stop them. Thank you for listening. The next chapter is available on the channel. And if you enjoyed the story, subscribing, liking, leaving a review on Amazon helps more people find it.